Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host, and it is Wednesday, January 29th. Just 2 more days left in the month of January, and only 2 more days left for people to qualify for government office for the elections that are going to be held later this year. Still waiting to hear on who all has qualified. We do have a list of candidates for the Jackson area and surrounding area so far, but there's a few people that have not yet made the list that we are heavily watching. But you know more about that, or you know about that. We've been talking about that, so we're going to continue to watch that election list, election candidate list, and we will bring you the details on it when it gets updated. But here we are on this Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on our website, through our mobile app, or even on our CTV stream, thank you so much for being here. And if you're tuning in on our social channels, whether that be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, any of those, thank you so much for that. Don't forget, you can always leave your comments, questions, thoughts, anything in the comments section here. And I love getting to interact with you guys during the newscast here. Also, if you're not already following or subscribed to us on any of our social streams, make sure you do that so that you can stay up to date with us there on social media. So we've got a lot of news to get into before we jump into that, though. Try not to knock my microphone out of in front of my face. But before we jump into the news, let's go ahead and take a look outside over. We're going to look over Raymond with our Raymond Skycam today. And it is cloudy out there because we are expecting some rain. The Raymond Skycam is so high. I'm afraid of heights, and it always it gets me a little bit when we look at it. Let's look at over downtown Jackson, courtesy of Jackson Water. You can see we still have cloudy skies there, or we have cloudy skies here as well. And why don't we go look? Let's look in Mendenhall and see what we're looking like in Mendenhall. Maybe not. Maybe that camera's going to mess up with this. Okay. Well, we know that it's cloudy outside. We're going to be looking at our forecast in just a little bit to give you a brief look at that. And then later at 2:30, our First Alert weather team will be in here with you to give you a in-depth look at your forecast. We are expecting some rain over the next couple of days, so you want to make sure you're here with our First Alert weather team a little bit later. Sheila Scott saying, hello, how are you? I'm doing great, Sheila. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing today? Morgan Harris. Hi, Morgan. We do miss you around here for sure. But hello, Morgan. Thank you for watching. And Sheila Scott again saying it's cloudy, kind of chilly, but not frozen. That is correct. Thankfully, it's not frozen. I'm over the cold weather already. I'm ready to see everything coated in yellow from pollen and the temperatures start rising and all of that good stuff. So, Angela said, thank you for sharing the news. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Angela. I appreciate that. Yesterday was actually my 5-year anniversary of being in broadcasting. So it's kind of a sweet time for me. I appreciate that compliment right there. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the news, jump into what we have happening, or a press release that was released from JPD today over a shooting that happened yesterday in Jackson. So on Wednesday, January 29th, Jackson Police Department began investigating a homicide that occurred on the 100 block of Woodway Drive. Let me show you where that is here. So down here, the bottom of your screen, the little yellow box, that is approximately downtown Jackson. Right here, the red box next to the hand, which I'm going to scroll in on it. This is where the incident took place. This is Woodway Drive. So you can see we have Studio 6 or Motel 6 right here off of I-55. The Planet Fitness right here off I-55. Right back here, we have Highway 51. So it just kind of gives you an idea of where this area is and where the shooting took place. Again, downtown Jackson, right here at the bottom of your screen. Let me move this up a little bit to make sure you guys can all see it. Down here at the bottom of your screen, downtown Jackson. right up here is where the shooting happened. So detectives learned that the victim had been shot at that location, and tragically, she did die at the hospital. Her name has been released. Her name is Kanesha Bowie. Her next of kin has been notified. So detectives have also arrested someone in connection with this, and they're being charged with murder. The person being arrested right here is Michaela Davis. As I said, she is being charged with murder. So JPD is saying that this is an ongoing investigation. So if you have any information on what happened there, if you have security cameras, Ring doorbell cameras, anything, look and see if you caught something, if you saw something, and pass that information along to the Jackson Police Department. You can either call Crime Stoppers 601-355-TIPS or 8477, or you can contact Jackson Police Department at 601-960-1234. And our thoughts are going out to the victim's family and friends. Again, the victim of that shooting was Kanesia Bowie, and I'm apologize if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly. We do not have a picture of her that has been released to us yet, but we will bring you more information on this as it comes into us here at the station. Then there was a fire last night here in Jackson that actually ended up damaging two homes. The man that lived inside one of the homes arrived at home just in time to save his pets. So, and of course, the neighbor's home was also damaged. This was on Dorgan Street in South Jackson. So here's video from the fire. So the man who was living at the house told us that the homeowner had been trying to sell the home for a while now. Roy Sorrells says that when he pulled up to the property, the fire was consuming the home. That's who's living there in the house. Assistant Fire Chief Patrick Armand says firefighters got the call just before 7 o'clock last night. Armand says the house at 1531 Dorgan Street is a total loss. Sorrells did manage to save his two dogs, thankfully, but two of the cars that were parked there at the property, they were destroyed by the flames and the intense heat.
I really don't know exactly how the fire got started, but when I pulled up in the driveway, I saw like an orange light glow through my curtain. And I pulled the carport door open in the house. It was on fire in there. I mean, it was already coming through it blew the front window out not long after I got here.
So again, a second house at 1523 Dorgan also had significant damage. Chief Armand did say that there were no injuries and the cause of the fire is under investigation. So we told you yesterday, and I believe the day before, about a Jackson firefighter who had been arrested in connection with a fatal hit and run that happened on I-55 this weekend. Well, he did go before the judge today, and he has been given a $50,000 bond. So his name is Jeremy Burse, and I do have his picture here on the screen for you. He made his initial appearance in the Hinds County Court today, where he entered a not guilty plea to felony leaving the scene. He's being charged after he allegedly hit a person on I-55 Saturday night. Authorities say that the incident happened around 10 or 11, but they did not get the call on this till the next morning when a driver of an 18-wheeler saw the body on the side of the road. So when JPD got there, they recovered several portions of a damaged vehicle that they believed to be involved. They determined that those pieces came from a Dodge Durango. So alert was issued to the department to be on the lookout for a dark-colored Durango. Allegedly, Burse found out about this bolo that was put out and turned himself in. So he was being held at the Raymond Detention Center, and the Jackson Municipal Court did pass this case on to the county, citing potential conflict of interest. So Burse is a lieutenant with the Jackson Fire Department. He was off duty when the incident happened. The victim has been identified as Ricky Taylor, and police do believe that Taylor was homeless here in the area. Wednesday's hearing was the first time that Burse appeared before a judge. If he is convicted, he does face he could face between 5 to 20 years in prison. But that is the update on him in that situation, $50,000 bond. And of course, just like with everything else, we're going to continue to follow this. Now let's move up to Madison County, where we reported and told you about a teacher there in Madison County that was tragically killed in a head-on collision that was a result of a DUI driver. The driver of the vehicle that was under the influence her name is Jordan Sullivan. Well, a 33-year-old Jordan Sullivan of Louisville, she did plead guilty to one count of aggravated DUI in the Madison County Circuit Court. So the incident happened back in June of 2024. That's when the Gluckstadt police responded to the crash on I-55. There's a picture from that crash scene. So Sullivan had crashed into Tyra Small Jackson after driving in the wrong direction on the interstate. Officers immediately suspected Sullivan of a DUI. They found multiple bottles of liquor inside of her car, and of course they also smelled alcohol. Jordan does face up to 25 years in prison, and her sentencing will happen on February the 10th. We will update you on what her sentence is when that happens. Looking here, coming to the comments. OC Tillman saying, afternoon to all. My prayers are with the family. Speaking of the individual who lost their life here in Jackson yesterday with a shooting. Sheila is asking, he won't be able to work for firefighting again, though, right? As a firefighter. Sheila, I'm not sure how that would play out. Now, if right now he is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. They have not said anything about placing him on leave or anything like that. Of course, we'll update you if we get that kind of information, find out what's going to happen with that. As far as if he'll be able to be a firefighter again, he is pleading not guilty. If he is found not guilty, then you would think that there would be no reason for him not to be able to continue as a firefighter. But, that's just something that we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. So going back to Madison County for another arrest that was made in a drive-by shooting. So Madison police say that they used enhanced surveillance techniques to convince a man to plead guilty in a drive-by shooting case. Now, listen to what they did, because this is actually pretty cool, the detective work that the Madison police did to catch this criminal and the person in charge of this drive-by shooting. So here is the suspect, or not the suspect, the person that has been charged and pled guilty on your screen. My mouth is getting ahead of my brain. Okay, so Roman Hines is his name. So the district attorney's office says Roman Hines entered the plea for a shooting that happened in the North Bay subdivision back in July. So here's how they ended up catching him. Surveillance videos showed him driving past a home, firing at the home multiple times. So investigators were able to isolate an image from security cameras showing Hines wearing what they said it was a distinctive jacket, which they then traced back to a manufacturer in Canada. The company the police department contacted the company, and they were able to provide police with a list of the 22 people who had purchased that specific jacket here in Mississippi. And that is what then led them to Hines, and led to Hines pleading guilty in this case. So he has now been sentenced to 15 years in prison. I just think that the detective work in that was pretty cool was pretty cool to hear. So just it was a jacket, a distinctive jacket. Maybe that says something for wearing clothes that blend in and don't make you stand out. I don't know, but I just thought it was really cool how they were able to trace it back to him to prove that it was actually him who had done the shooting in this situation. But yeah, distinctive jacket manufactured in Canada. I got the list of the 22 people here in the state of Mississippi who had purchased that jacket and traced it back to this individual, Roman Hines. So he pled guilty to that shooting now and is in prison or serving 15 years in prison. Now we're going to go over to Vicksburg, where a Vicksburg man could end up spending next 15 years behind bars after pleading guilty to a child molestation charge, rather. So this is him on your screen. According to the Vicksburg Daily News, Justin Meltzer ended a guilty plea last week in Warren County Circuit Court. He was indicted back in 2022. So at that time, he was just 19. The victim was said to be under the age of 12. He was given a $15,000 bond, and his sentencing is expected to happen in February. So again, we will follow that and bring you updates. Sheila Scott saying, OMG, not the jacket. Yes, it was the jacket, which is, that's pretty funny. They were able to present this information to the suspect, and he admitted to it and pled guilty. So we told you yesterday here here at WLBT about a water association, Reedtown Water Association, that was having a public meeting last night because a lot of the residents there that are under this water association are not either happy with their water quality or not receiving water at all. We're talking over a period of days, even weeks in some cases. So things did get a little heated at the meeting that they had last night in Utica. There was dozens of frustrated residents there that were demanding answers about why they haven't had reliable water service in what they said was months. So residents at the meeting, they didn't hold back on their frustrations. In fact, it actually got so heated that those that were in charge of the meeting had to call it to order several times. And of course, all of this was happening because some residents are currently without water and have been without water for several weeks. So it was standing room only there, and some people even were lined up outside the building. The meeting hosted by the Rural Hinds County Community Association, and those who live in the area tell us that the problem lies with the Reedtown water for the last several weeks. This of course located in Utica. So although they are without water, residents say they're continuing to receive water bills. So Vester Watt says she's been without water for nearly 3 months. Could you imagine not having water in your home for 3 months? Wow. And she said because of it, she's having to haul in water to bathe, to cook, and to clean with.
How we gonna pay a water bill? We ain't got no water. I ain't never heard that before in my life. Have you? No. And nobody else. People don't live like this. Then we have to go to the washer tier or somewhere to wash our clothes when we have wash and dry at our house. You know, God knows we don't supposed to live like this. And I don't know nobody else to call.
So Reedtown Water Association, they were invited to attend the meeting to answer any and all questions. However, they did not show up. So all the residents came to the meeting with many questions and concern. Unfortunately, they ended up walking away with no solution or any answers. And the next meeting will be held at the same location next month on the 25th. So February 25th, the same location there in Utica. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe the Reedtown Water Association will show up to this. Maybe the problems will be resolved by then. We can all hope. but we will keep you updated on the progress of this. Before we jump into our next story, which we're going to be talking about our series that we're doing, Fight the Blight, here in the city of Jackson, let's take a listen to a word from our sponsors, and we're going to look at our weather forecast as well.
At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thanks Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. We do appreciate you being the sponsor here, one of our sponsors here. So let's look at our forecast real quick. We're going to look at our temperatures outside right now, much warmer than we have been. Steadily, those temperatures are going up. We're looking at in the mid 60s right now. Some areas in the upper 50s. Macomb even almost at 70 degrees with 68, but pretty much the same around the area. Our current radar right now, although we do have some cloudy skies out there, you can see we don't have any rain in the area currently, but we are expecting some rain over the next few days. Now, our 12-hour forecast, you can see that as we move into the overnight hours, we are looking at a 20% chance of rain, and of course, that's going to increase tomorrow, but we're going to stay with these cloudy conditions for the remainder of the day. And then if we look at our 7-day forecast, you see we've got 20, 40, and 40% chance of rain for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursday, we're looking at a high of 73. But let's look at that weekend. The weekend forecast is looking quite beautiful. A high of 64 on Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Even Monday is going to be a good day. 73, sunshine. It's just great temperatures, great spring-like temperatures out there, and I am very much looking forward to it. Well, let's take a look now at the series that we are doing on fighting the blight here in Jackson. If I can get to the right video.
Now, Fight the Blight, a year-long investigation from WLBT. 3 on your side.
So again, this is a year-long investigation that WLBT is doing. We are committed to bringing you weekly, every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You're going to be able to see a story that viewers rather, have submitted to us on blighted areas within their community, within the city of Jackson, whether it be abandoned businesses, homes, trashy lots where people have dumped trash, all this different stuff. We are committed to hopefully bringing positive change to the city of Jackson with this series to help fight the blight. So some of you in the Broadmoor neighborhood say that you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle, especially when it comes to keeping your neighborhoods clean and safe. So there's burned down and abandoned properties. They're not uncommon around the Chaston Middle School. Residents in the area say that they feel like they are alone in their fight against blight because of the lack of response from the city of Jackson.
Elizabeth Stedham moved back to the Broadmoor neighborhood in July of 2023 in hopes to revitalize her past home.
When I came back, I really wanted to be a part of lifting it back up because I could see that it was starting to go down. And I was really interested in investing myself. So I thought, I'll buy a house, I'll lift that house up, and then I'll continue to go on.
But just a few months later, a home near her new property was destroyed, creating a safety concern and large eyesore near Chastain Middle School.
It was foreclosed on, and when the realtor came in and asked the squatters to leave, they burned it that night.
But when Stedham and her neighbor, Jerry Taylor, called 311,
that's actually the biggest frustration because I started calling in January of 2024. I never could get any answer. I still to this day have not ever had anybody call me back.
The trees are falling down, tearing down the fences and stuff. And if what happened, the city of Jackson not making the bank do something with this house.
Over a year of calling the city for updates has led residents to a dead end, impacting their livelihood.
Our business is suffering because of it, but the city of Jackson charging us to have the business. In the city of Jackson, they charge us a fee every year just to have a house in Jackson for rent. But now you can't rent the house because they won't do their part of the job.
Along with residents wanting to see a more speedy and efficient process to tearing dilapidated homes down, they're also looking for transparency.
I want to be in there with the city, helping the city too. You know, I'm not against them at all. I just want to feel like they're on our side.
WLBT did reach out to the city for a comment yesterday regarding the issues with 311 and why properties are being left in shambles. There was no response at the time of this airing, and they still haven't provided us with a response at this time. Now, if you have a blighted area that you would like us to bring attention to, I'm going to show you how you can do that by going to our website, WLBT.com. Here it is on your screen. This is our website. Here at the top of the page, you see we have First Alert Weather, Jackson Bribery Scheme, and right there is Fight the Blight. When you click on that and you scroll down, there is a form where you can submit your information, and we will get back in contact with you to speak with you more about it, and maybe even hopefully be able to bring your situation to light here on WLBT. But again, go to WLBT.com. At the top of the page, you'll see Fight the Blight. Let me pull it back up for you. Top of the page, you'll see Fight the Blight. You can click on that and submit your information to us. We do appreciate all of the many people who have sent stuff in. We're hearing from people daily, and we appreciate all of the information that you guys are passing along our way. So let's talk about some exciting things, some good news that is happening, possibly good news for girls here in high school in the state of Mississippi. So girls flag football is set to become a competitive sport in Mississippi high schools. So on Tuesday, the New Orleans Saints, in collaboration with the Mississippi High School Activities Association, they announced the official sanctioning of girls high school flag football in the state. So this initiative, groundbreaking initiative, is set to begin in the spring of 2025. That's when the inaugural season is slated to kick off late in March. So the pilot season is going to feature 12 high schools, with games taking place at Southwest Mississippi Community College and Picayune High School. So the participating schools is Brandon High School here in our area. We have East Central High School. May also say, I may be naming other high schools that are in the area that I'm still not familiar with. So if I don't say from our area, I promise I am not trying to pick on you at all. We have Brandon High School, East Central High School, George County High School, Macomb, Meridian High. How about that? Oak Grove High School, Perry Central, Picayune, Richland, South Pike, and St. Martin. So those are the 12. And Van Cleve High School. So those are the 12 schools that are going to be in the pilot season of this, the girls flag football, which will be officially a sanctioned, or is now officially a sanctioned sport here for high school girls in the state of Mississippi. I think it's kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think, how you feel about it. I think it's really cool to give them an opportunity to get out there and play football. Of course, there's girls that get out and play football with the guys all the time. And there are some really, really talented female football players out there. But this gives just another opportunity for another sport for girls here in our state. And I love it. Now, a Mississippi native, Angie Thomas, had a big surprise for a high school senior who hopes to become a writer himself. So Owen Jarvis of Pelham, Alabama went into a Zoom call last Wednesday, expecting to take part in the final round of interviews for Angie Thomas Writers Scholarship at her alma mater, Jackson's Belhaven University. Jarvis was instead very delighted to find Thomas herself on the call. Imagine getting on this thinking you're going to be in a random interview, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's the artist that is there talking to you. But she was there on the call with him. So she authored the book The Hate You Give, personally awarded the scholarship to Jarvis. And here is the video of it, the Zoom call. She congratulated him on earning full tuition, room, and board at Belhaven. That is awesome. Go him. Congratulations to him. So this scholarship is awarded to one student each year. Other applicants did receive partial scholarships as well. So I think that's pretty awesome. So congratulations to him for getting that scholarship. And a student at Jackson State University received a prestigious award. This one made me smile a little extra because of what he received the award for. So here he is on your screen. As JSU scholar Josiah Osula. I'm so sorry if I'm messing up his name. Josiah Osula. He won the prestigious Music Teachers National Association statewide competition. The violinist also secured over $1,500 from the Black Violin Foundation Incorporated, that was founded by two-time Grammy-nominated duo Black Violin. Osula, who is pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer engineering with a minor in violin performance, plans to use his grant to attend summer musical programs and further develop his artistry. So congratulations to him. I love it. I used to play violin way back when. I probably couldn't even do like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on it, but I was part of the whole Meridian Youth Symphony. Completely loved playing violin. So whenever I see someone else succeeding with a stringed instrument, I love it. I love it for sure. So tonight there will be the State of the State address by Governor Tate Reeves. He's going to give his address on the steps of the state capitol, and it's going to begin tonight at 5 o'clock. So the governor is expected to address several key topics, including the goal of eliminating the state income tax, as well as ongoing economic development in the state. The Democratic response will, of course, follow the governor's address. And the governor said in a statement on social media, in part, Mississippi is accomplishing things some only dreamed of. Looking forward to highlighting the special things happening in Mississippi and what we need to do to keep our momentum going. And of course, you can watch the address stream live right here on WLBT.com. Well, that is going to be the end of WLBT Plus today. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow at 1. And of course, our First Alert weather team will be here at 2:30 to give you that in-depth look at your forecast. We're not looking at any first alert like majorly severe weather, but there is a slight possibility. So you want to make sure you're here at 2:30 to hear from the First Alert weather team to get that in-depth look at your forecast. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.